Gabaldon are LGBT populations with disabilities being left behind in healthcare? And Sean, you can start whenever you're ready.
I want you to recall the last time you went to see your doctor. How did you feel during this interaction? When you left that day, did you feel taken care of and listened to? While you may have this positive experience, many people do not share the similar encounter with their doctor. For example, the individuals behind me who have a disability and identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, LGBT, face a wall of stigma within healthcare that prevents them from sharing this positive experience you have. This is because they belong to two marginalized groups. What does it mean to belong to a marginalized group? Marginalization is a social phenomenon in which a minority is excluded and their needs ignored. This is caused by stigmatization, which is the assignment of negative perceptions to an individual or population due to perceived differences from the dominant group. This wall of stigma directly affects the quality of care LGBT people with disabilities receive, causing health disparities for this population. A health disparity has been defined as differences in health resulting from systematic social, economic, and environmental disadvantages. As I reviewed the literature around this issue, I found few studies that went beyond just identifying health disparities. Along with this lack of practical guidelines, what was found as well was a lack of provider knowledge and an overarching influence of stigma towards this population. This lack of provider knowledge directly affected the quality of care LGBT people with disabilities receive in not only necessary treatments, but in informational health care as well. Many people in this population reported as well having to hide who they are in order to receive proper care from their doctors. Individuals with dual identities face stigmatization across society and within healthcare, causing many to have issues with their physicians where either they may not know how to treat them or they simply refuse. Now, what can we do with this information? Research focuses on two approaches that could help reduce these health disparities, such as focusing on education and creating support systems. With focusing on education, we can provide doctors with information such as what is LGBT, what are common problems that these individuals face within healthcare, and recognizing the current barriers of stigma. Along with this, we can create support systems for LGBT people with disabilities to give them access to information outside of their healthcare provider and caregiver. This can teach them self-advocacy, knowledge about their identity, and provide them with resources. While we have this knowledge, we need to put it into action. This lack of action directly affects the quality of care LGBT people with disabilities receive, causing many to leave their doctors not feeling helped. By focusing on education and creating support systems, we can begin to break down the wall of stigma within healthcare and provide the necessary care and treatments this population deserves.